Hi, and welcome to another episode of PDA Dad UK. In this episode, I'm going to be looking at the Tagosi. Now, this is a tracking system so you can help basically locate, track, and find lost items. Hi, and welcome to PDA Dad UK. As I said before, we're going to be doing a review today of the Tagosi. Now, this is what I'll be doing on my own. This isn't really one that is to do with toys and stuff, so this is something I'm looking at more from the parent's perspective to see if this is something that can be useful. So this gentleman contacted me and explained what they do, and I was really interested. So I don't know if you've had a situation, and I'm sure you have, we've certainly had them, where certain toys become really, really important, and my daughter has formed real attachments with certain things. The first was called Boaty Cat. It was actually, it was the SS Great Britain ship's cat. But when you say ship cat too quickly, it sounds really bad. So it got renamed Boaty. And it was, wherever we went, Boaty had to be there. It was a real source of comfort for her. Nowadays, it's a little rabbit, and that she always has to have that with her. And you know, even at the age of 11, it's something that is really important to her. Losing these things can become a real issue. And the other thing is things like tablets and electronic devices. My daughter seems to have a knack for sliding into tricky spaces and difficult positions to get into, or that we just don't know where they are. And so being able to find them and locate them really easily would be a really helpful thing. So it arrived today, and it arrived in this lovely packaging. It looks very professional. There's a little note on the back from the managing director, and I'm going to open it now, and we'll see what's contained inside it. So the package is open, and this is, I think it's called the Big Pack. So it comes with, so we've got a couple of these cards. If found, contact the owner here. There's a QR code on there, so obviously whoever finds it can scan it and then get in touch. So it has two of those cards contained in it. So they're obviously things you can put in your wallets and that sort of thing. There's also likewise some stickers. So these are things that you can stick onto items. And I think the idea of this is that it's not using tracking technology as far as GPS and stuff like that. This is actually something that if someone finds, they can simply scan the QR code and it will notify you via the app. We're going to test that out in a bit. There's a little welcome thing for it. And what I really like here is that we've also got two very nice key rings and some tags here. So that makes up 6 key rings or tags that we can put onto things and makes things easier to find. So these will be great for keys and stuff like that. So this really isn't limited to autism or special educational needs. I think this is something that has a far wider reaching application to it and benefit. So we'll be testing this out. What I'm going to do is fake that I've lost something, and we'll do a scan and see how it all works and how the code works and how we can get on with it. So I have got my daughter's bag. This is her school bag that she takes to school. And you can see here, I've put the tag onto the bag. Now, the idea of this is if somebody finds this bag, if we've left it behind somewhere, if it's been lost, which has happened from time to time, the person who finds it sees the tag on it. Obviously they're looking for any information, and they see the tag and they can look at the information on there, and they'll see there's a QR code. Now, QR codes are really easy. Obviously, all you do is use your phone and use the camera on it. And so I will do that right now. I'm going to scan the tag, and it says I found, and it says open in Safari. So I'm going to do that, and it says I found something, and asks you to put the code in. So I put the code in, and it then takes me through to a messaging service, basically, that lets me say, I found something of yours. Can you please, I found a bag. How can I get it back to you? So it's a nice way of, without using GPS tracking, and GPS tracking is something I personally have an issue with in some ways. There's a lot of private information that can go out. I'm very big on what we should be doing privacy wise and what we should be selling of ourselves, if you like. It's a big bugbear of mine. So what I do like about this system is that it doesn't use any tracking device as far as GPS. It's simply relying on the QR code and somebody being able to say, I found this, how can I get it back to you? And it's a nice, secure way of doing it. The reason being is that what you don't want to do on a kid's school bag, obviously, is suddenly put names and personal details, addresses, phone numbers and stuff like that, because that can obviously cause a lot of issues, especially if it were to get into the wrong hands. What I like about this is it keeps your details really nice, tightly secure, and you give out the information that you want. And what the app does is then basically allows you to message between you via the app. It's actually a website, but it allows you to communicate via the website. And so you can then arrange for a mutual meeting point. I always recommend trying to stay away from giving private details out. So, a McDonald's car park or a shopping centre or something like that, where you can meet mutual ground and you can make an exchange back. It's a really neat little system. Now, drawbacks, and this is obviously, I'm doing a review and I want to be honest on every front. The drawback would be it's relying on someone's honesty, but in reality, most things are. By the time, even if you've got the GPS style trackers and stuff like that, by the time you've actually got to where it's located, if someone's going to be dishonest, they'll have already been dishonest and taken stuff out. So I don't think that's a major drawback, and I think that the privacy advantages of this system outweigh any of those issues that people might have with, being able to specifically located on a device. I think it's a really neat little system, and I'm really impressed with the quality. I've got to say, the quality of the key rings is really nice. So you can see they're quite appealing. They're not too big. They have a really nice sort of appearance to them. They're metal. They're not going to break easily. You can see there's quality in there. They're not going to snap. There's no weak joints or anything like that, or silly sort of things like that. I like the fact that you can put stickers on things. Now, this is going to be great for iPads and for tablets. So this is something I can put on the inside of my daughter's tablet. I can put on my own tablet. And if it's found, someone can just scan and let me know that it's there. I am a believer in most people's integrity. And I think given the chance, most people would try and do the right thing. So I think this is a real advantage in the way that we can use that and be honest with one another. I think it's a really, really neat little system. And for the value, the fact that it's a one-off cost, you're not paying a subscription fee or anything like that. And a lot of the issues I have with a lot of these sorts of things is that you end up getting roped into subscriptions. You see it with a lot of the kids apps and kids safety apps. You're suddenly subscribing and you're paying a monthly fee, and it's a ridiculous amount normally. So the fact that this is a one-off fee, I think makes it really, really good value. It's a one-off outlay, and for the amount of stuff that I've got in this pack, where I've got so much stuff, I've got all of these stickers. So there's 8 stickers, there's 2 key rings, there's 4 of these tags. They can be used as key rings, but they can also be attached to anything like that. And you've also got the 2 cards, so they can go in people's wallets. And if you lose your wallet, somebody finds this, again, they're going to have the same thing. They can simply scan the QR code that's on there and you're going to get the same result. I think it's a magic system, and I'm actually really impressed with the way it's been thought through and put together. I really don't have a lot of criticisms I can make about this. The only criticisms you really could make are the fact that you're relying on somebody else's honesty. But as I've already stated, I think most people do want to do the right thing. More than that, if somebody has ill intent, they're going to have done it in the seconds before you can track it using a GPS style tracker. I think it's a much better system, and I think the fact that you can mutually arrange convenient places to meet, and that's safe for you and your family as well, massive, massive plus for me. I highly recommend this. I think it's a fantastic. If you are interested in doing it, the links will be in the description to their website, and you can sign up there. And yeah, I really do recommend it. I think it's going to be one of those things that's probably going to get us out of trouble more than once. But even if it's only once, have got us out of trouble in that situation will be a huge bonus. Thanks so much for taking the time. Please do like this video. Please do subscribe and hit the bell so that you know we've got new content coming up. Lots of interesting content coming up, lots of interviews, and of course the usual stuff with the topics and reviews with my daughter as well. So yeah, make sure you know what's happening. I will see you again on the next episode. In the meantime, stay safe.